We're in the midst of a cost of living crisis, and many of us are facing difficulties with our finances, whether that's having to cut back on essentials, struggling to pay bills, or getting into debt to keep up with daily necessities. And there's no escaping the fact that this presents huge challenges to mental health. There are lots of ways that you and your team might be impacted. First, uncertainty. As humans, we're just not well equipped to handle uncertainty. We feel much safer if we know what's coming in life. But we're living through very uncertain times. We're not in control of what's happening on a global scale, and we can't say for sure how long it will last or exactly what implications it will have on our lives. And when we're faced with uncertainty, we tend to fill in the gaps with the worst case scenario, which of course can lead us to feel stressed and anxious. And if there are lots of unknowns in your work context, bear in mind that this might increase anxiety levels within your team. Second, there's the fact that in our society, having enough money is a basic human need. In short, we need money to feel safe in the world. So if we're experiencing financial difficulties, those needs are at risk, and it's natural to feel vulnerable. And when we don't feel safe, our brain triggers a stress response in our body. So in response to financial insecurity, we're not only feeling emotionally drained, but our bodies also bear the brunt, and we can end up being physically tense, not sleeping, or finding it hard to concentrate. And you can imagine how this can impact someone's ability to give their best at work. If someone is struggling to establish a basic sense of safety, it doesn't leave much brain capacity for thinking about their day-to-day workloads. And on top of the ongoing uncertainty and the sense of threat that financial hardship brings, there are also more nuanced links between our financial health and our mental health. The two really are intertwined, and it's hard to have one without the other. For example, if we're worried about whether we'll have enough money to cover the essentials, we'll no doubt experience stress, anxiety, and potentially low mood. And then there's the huge emotional burden that debt carries. Financial struggles are also often associated with big emotions like shame and guilt, which often get in the way of people talking or seeking help. And it works the other way around too. So when we're overwhelmed with negative emotions, it can be even harder to manage our money. And we might have less capacity to problem solve or to make decisions about what to prioritise. As you lead your team through this financial crisis, empathy really is the best skill you can draw on. And to do that, try to keep in mind these three broad areas: the inherent difficulties we all have in tolerating uncertainty, that sense of threat that many of us are experiencing, and finally, the complex interplay between our money and our mental health.